It's Indianapolis Center. Do you have any test operations restricted area 2508?
Aries 31, roger. Traffic is quite luminous and is exhibiting some non-ballistic motion, over.
Roger, Aries 31. Continue to send at your discretion, over.
Okay, Center. The traffic is approaching head-on, ultra bright, and really moving. They're right by us right now.
There are 1,000 UFO sightings reported around the world every month. 90% of these sightings can be explained, but 10% cannot. Officially and unofficially, the U.S. military has been investigating UFOs since 1947. Their top secret goal is to find out what's behind these unexplained sightings. The Pentagon classifies them as unusual airborne anomalies, but a better term is X-Files. Join us now as Mack Maloney and Commander Cobra explore these unsolved cases, UFO incidents that baffle even the U.S. military. This is Mack Maloney's Military X-Files. And now, here's Mack Maloney.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mack Maloney's Military X-Files show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. Hey, this is Mack Maloney. We're in the new year. I won't say what year it is, but we're in the new year. And we got the gang back together. The Beatles are back together for the first time in a long time. Let's give ourselves a hand, and I will sweeten it up in post. Look, let's just go around the horn here. Okay, girls, get ready. Now, you haven't heard this in a while, but it's time to sit down and get your mister, which I'm sure you got for Christmas. Your, I don't know, I forget the order, the squeegee.
The box of Kleenex. The
big box of wipes, and
the battery-operated device.
Something, and also we had lube in there back in the old year. But anyway, you know.
KY?
I don't know. I don't know. Here we go. First one of the year. The very famous girls. The very famous Wan is here.
Hello, girls. Hello, Mac. It's a pleasure to be here tonight, and Happy New Year.
Yes.
We won't mention what year it is, but it's going to be a good one.
Okay.
I can smell it.
You can smell it,
awesome.
Then it's going to happen, apparently. You're not smelling that blanket in back of you. You got that thing laundered yet?
No, I still haven't laundered it in a while. I really should take it down.
That might be what you're smelling.
I mean, I'm the guy that does all the laundry anyway. So
really? Yeah.
I need to undo it and put it in the towel load.
This is his Rolling Stones, big lips, big tongue, logo. And I don't know, that tongue looks like it has a little coating or something on. You might want to have that checked. Yeah. Okay, look. First joke of the year. They can't all be winners. Look. So
I love it. I love this thing.
There you go. Okay, good. Maybe a little too much. We don't know. Look, another story, another show. Let's move on. Up there in his bunker, formerly a compound. No, the other way around. It's
definitely a compound for tax purposes this coming tax season. That's correct.
Bunker to compound. They know him as Coco on the street, but we know him as Commander Cobra. CC.
As always, a privilege to join you and the rest of the great group here at Mack Maloney's Military X-Files. Glad to be on the wing.
Okay,
Good to see you, Commander.
What is now? First of all, what are you wearing? A parachute there? What's the
This is sometimes referred to in the neighborhood as my sniper suit.
I know.
This is the cold temperatures. It's just a really snuggy little outfit that I like to put on. It's the outdoorsman's onesie, I guess you would call it. And keeps me safe in the cold when I'm out marching around the dark doing things.
Marking your territory. Okay, and you have an interesting background there. It looks like you're in the cockpit of a jet fighter, right?
Well, there was a model of this aircraft that was thought of or considered to be a fighter variant.
YF.
But this happens to be the SR-71, not the YF-12.
Yeah. Used to be the A-12.
How do you fly it? You got the controls behind you.
Right.
Well,
that's how good he is.
I'm on cruise control right now.
Oh, wow.
Their club, so that I can swing around and get the camera in the back. This is sort of like one of Wingman's kind of modifications to the aircraft, where I have a small radio station in the back part of my SR-71 for tonight's show.
There you go.
Which we should all acknowledge that Mack Maloney Wingman number 21
is
out.
So he did that. He turned that right into a plug for me. Thank you, Coco. On sale everywhere.
Good one.
Jericho Storm, and Jericho's got a great tie-in with one of the greatest missions flown by the Mosquito.
That's
to bomb a
Gestapo
Nazi prison in France to try to free resistance prisoners that were held there.
That's where we get the name. Okay. entertaining, and a history lesson. Thank you, Coco. We'll be coming back to you very soon. Going up the totem pole, up there in the Bowl of Flakes, where they make all the cereals, the Battle Creek Republic, our national correspondent, Switchblade Steve Ward, Switch E.
It is great to be here tonight, Mac.
Okay. Now, let's talk about your attire. All I can see is because I'm Steve, that's why? You're wearing that? Because I'm Steve, that's why. Okay.
Beautiful.
Where'd you get that?
Well done.
Who gave that to you?
A friend of mine, one of my Mothman buddies, gave it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and did you take it as a compliment?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really? Okay, good. All right. I think I've said this to you before, but if you ever come back this way again, don't wear that, okay?
I'll wear it inside out.
Yeah, thank you. We may get into some troubles in some of the bars we go.
It'll be because I'm Eve's.
Okay. So anyway, Switch, what's going on with you there, Switchy? You've grown a beard. You look very, very what's the word?
Professorial.
Dapper, yes.
Spiffy.
We can talk about this later, but I found a cassette in the basement. I was cleaning the basement. It was marked "Save" on it.
Okay.
And there was something in there from 30 years ago.
Okay. And
you want me to tell you now?
Sure.
Or should we? Okay. All right.
I've heard this on other shows.
I popped it into a cassette player.
Go ahead.
And because I'm a retro kind of guy, I've got all kinds of cassette players.
That we believe.
And it turns out it was an interview with Jacques Villa recorded on a local radio station in the Detroit area.
Wow.
I recorded it while I was working. I used to carry a boombox on my desk, and this particular talk show guy was mostly political talk radio, but he would do other stuff once in a while.
Yes.
And Jacques Villa's Revelations had just come out, and this guy really liked it. 1991.
Wow.
What I forgot was when I put it in, I remembered. Oh, that's right, I recorded this. But as it was going, the first caller was me.
Yes. All right, Switchy. You must have done it from your crib. Were you in the crib at that point?
Sort of. See, I've got it right here. And
God, he's showing us a cassette recorder, folks.
I actually was fairly lucid. Had a nice conversation with Jacques Villa. I was just one of the callers.
Yes.
But it was a fairly good interview, about 35 minutes or so.
Yes.
Not with me, the whole thing.
Obviously. Oh, okay. What you ask him?
I up to him a little bit, and then we talked.
What did you ask him?
Well, I praised him for his writings and disparaged all the other UFO writings. That's when I was sucking up.
Okay. Sounds like
I can't remember what I asked, actually.
Good job.
I can
Okay.
play it, but,
all right, that's good.
Sued.
All right, Switchy. Okay, so we'll come back to you in a moment. Okay.
So I've been putting them on CD because it's kind of a piece of history. I think I can be forgiven for forgetting that I was actually on the radio show since it was 3 decades ago.
You should put that in the cloud there, Grandpa. CDs. People don't know what CDs are anymore. You got to put it up in the cloud there, brother.
Yeah, I'm still using cassettes. So
okay, well, that's true.
CD's kind of advanced for me.
I lost my head there. Okay. All right, let's go sideways on the totem pole, not to get anyone, bent out of shape, but our security chief, Willy Clubb, is in the house. Clubby.
Hey, Mac. Hey, crew. It's great to be back. Really looking forward to a really exciting year. Just sometimes you feel it,
Yes.
You get a twinge, and
right.
I think we got it.
Okay.
I got to say, though, I am so impressed with the Switch. That whole thing he's got in his face there.
Yes.
Is that real, or is that one of those stick-ons?
Yeah, because of my wig goes over my ears, you cannot see the hooks on either side.
Yeah, well, just be careful when you drink something, that doesn't.
Yeah. And I got rid of the funny nose and the glasses.
You did?
No comment.
Okay, good. Always good to change up your look there, Switch.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a great-looking guy.
Yeah, the more stuff he puts on his face, I agree.
That's the good-looking guy. That's the secret.
Switch, you ever thought about getting a monocle?
But I'm thinking his Clubb's day is coming one of these days. That's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
It's here. Let me tell you.
Meow. So listen, Clubb, talk about someone looking dapper. You look dapper as always.
Huh? I'm in the dark. That's why.
That's right. That's
my trick is keep the lights down low.
Okay. All right, listen, I'm going to save the best for last, so we got to get down to Jocko down there in down south somewhere. Jocko Johnson. Jojo, how you doing?
Very good. Glad to be. Happy to be anywhere.
Okay.
For the record, the government, I'm in a bunker, and it's been transferred into a charity trust. So
Oh, smart thing.
I'm not doing anything with that.
Good planning. Okay. Jojo, thank you. All right.
Cobra was trying to tell me about how to work that.
Well, that's the person to go to, and hopefully when you're on trial, he'll be right at your side too.
Sure he will. But I got a good lawyer in New York who'll come anyway.
Oh, good. That's good. All right. So now it's time to introduce the beauties among the beasts. First of all, in the studio with us tonight, doing her homework, the very lovely Lois Lane is here.
Hi, everybody. It's really good to be here.
Hello, Lois. Good to see you.
It's good to see everybody. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I wish you could see the hairdo because your
I can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Here we go. Okay. That's good.
Wow.
Okay. There you go.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing your homework, right? Just like old times. Okay. All right. Well, listen, if we need anything to be corrected, can we throw it to you?
Absolutely.
Spelling?
That's what I'm here for.
Hey, listen, now that you're on again, you want to try your joke again, to a wider audience?
Maybe later, because
yeah.
I would have to remember it first.
Okay. Wow.
Actually.
Must be really good.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well,
we don't know.
I would like to see their reaction to it.
Okay.
Should I try it?
Well, let me introduce...
Okay. The best for last, yes.
No, I said the beauties after the beast. Raven is with us up there in Sideways in York. Raven, how you doing?
Hello, my friends. I'm doing so good. It's so good to see everyone.
Mm-hmm. You had to stay awake during that long intro with everyone else.
Yes. It wasn't that long.
I don't
It was
know.
entertaining.
Looked like you were drifting
What kind
off.
of tea are you drinking, Raven?
Who says it's tea?
Lemon balm, I think.
Lemon balm.
Lemon balm?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Okay. Wow.
I just picked a tea bag up.
Okay. Everything good with you and Scotch and water and Friday and everything?
Everything is good.
Okay.
Yeah. Scotch has his little winter coat on because it's too cold to send him outside without one.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
Friday's slowly taking over my home.
Oh, okay. That's what they do. And your cat clock is working still in the background. I can see the tail hypnotizing me. Yep.
Yeah.
There it is. All right. Okay, good. Okay, so we're all here, right? So why don't we do this? Why don't we just go to Switchy first? Because everyone really wants to know now. We've been on hiatus for a little while. Didn't mean we're not up to hijinks, but as it turns out, Switch, everyone really wants to know now in this new year. We won't mention the number, but what did you have for breakfast this morning?
This morning, I decided not to have something super mundane. I mean, it was fairly mundane, but I did go out to a restaurant. I braved the elements.
Yes.
Which tells you that I suffer for my art.
Go ahead.
And so I went to Denny's.
Denny's.
And I didn't want to overdo it. So, I didn't get hash browns. I didn't get pancakes or whatever. But I did get a couple eggs over easy.
Okay.
2 sausage, 2 bacon, and white toast.
Okay, that's
Coffee
cooling it a little
and
bit.
water.
Sure, yeah. No hash browns and no what?
No, that was plenty. That's
Yeah, interesting. Okay, all right. Are you?
So, Steve, would this be a form of performance art? Is that what this has become now?
Well, they made me put my clothes back on, so I don't really know if I can
Okay,
call
all right,
this
well,
performance art or not.
That's just Act One. All right. See, that's what he does.
People will do to get out of the bill.
Yeah, he goes and he gets less and less each time, and by July he'll be wasting away. Too bad we're on the radio. That would be really suffering for you out there, Steve.
Well, of course, I used to be a model.
Yes, for the Navy.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. I think
I also modeled men's brief for Sears.
You sure you didn't wear a hand model?
You did, really?
Hang on.
Well,
Time
the
out.
thing is,
If anybody's a hand model, it's one.
Well, when I showed up, it was unsolicited, so they usually call the authorities. But I think it was because I was wearing Fruit of the Looms and they sell Hanes or sold Hanes.
Wow. Okay.
It was just a misunderstanding.
They have the court
guess.
docket. You have the court records on that little incident there.
Actually, because of my age, they erased the records.
Oh, good. Good for you.
Did you share that
We
with
could get 'em.
Jacques Villa? Did you get that in there in the interview? Is that something
we should
That was
explain.
about
do on the
91, I think,
recording?
when I was solicited, or when I was unsolicited. to you know what I mean.
You know what we should do. Hey, listen, Jacques Villa is a very famous writer who really kind of tied a lot of stuff in the paranormal together.
Yes.
So check him out. So anyway, okay, so we know what Switch has had. And so now I think...
I'm ready for my joke.
Oh, we're ready for Lois's joke. Okay.
I'm just curious what you can edit this out if everybody doesn't
Well, this is the second time in 2 weeks we've done this. Let's see what happens, okay?
All right, ready?
Ready.
A priest, a rabbit, and a minister. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Was there some sort of...
No,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to give you a cue, but go ahead.
No, do it.
All right.
Now you have to cut all this out.
Cue.
A priest, a rabbit, and a minister walk into a bar.
A priest, a rabbit, and a minister walk into a bar.
The bartender asks the rabbit, "What do you have?"
The bartender asks the rabbit, "What will you have?"
And the rabbit shakes his head and answers, "I have no idea. I'm only here because of autocorrect." Oh boy, crickets.
It's good. It's actually it was cute and it's fun. It's a clean little joke.
Well, did you expect anything less than clean from me?
Is that the punchline?
That is the punchline.
Oh, wow. That's the
No,
worst thing you can say.
Oh, now she's crying.
I'm not sure I heard it right. What was it again?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. Better than last time, though, as it turns out.
At least there were
The best part is she's speaking English, but Mac was interpreting.
Wait.
Yeah, I know. That's because my timing is off. He's trying to make my timing.
No. We don't want your timing to be off on anything there. Lois, as it turns out. Okay, so now...
There you go. We can edit that
Hey, Lois,
out.
for the crowd like this, when they behave that way with a really good joke like that, just do that thing with your hair again. And then one, and the rest of them.
Yeah, do the thing with your hair.
That's it. That's all you need.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Do the hair flip, even though we're on the radio.
There we go.
Okay,
You should have done that while you were reading the joke.
There you go.
Wow.
Wow.
Somebody is in a really tight mood tonight.
In slow motion.
Okay.
Okay,
I
look.
guess I'm part of the group if I'm getting insulted now.
All right, listen. It's time. It's time for a very interesting announcement that we have, and everyone on the crew except Coco is going to be surprised by this. I think it's just news to them, but something happened over the hiatus, and because both Coco and I are familiar with this place, I thought he'd be the perfect person to make this announcement. So I suppose we'll put some kind of a drum roll, something in here, and go, Coco. You're on. It's your cue.
Starting Sunday night, January 30th, Mack Maloney's Military X-Files will be returning to KGRA Radio Network. Mack's show started on KGRA, and we've been on it one time or another. And we know it's a great audience, very vocal, very involved. There's parts that we kind of miss. So now, Mack Maloney's Military X-Files will be heard weekly on KGRA starting midnight, January 30th. Let's discuss.
Okay, let's give ourselves a hand first, okay? And we're going to put in more than
Verifying
miles.
network.
KGRA Network is where I first started out doing this kind of show. And people probably know it better as the place that Race Hobbs used to run. Race 650-pound dumpling, we used to call. Mm-hmm. Very interesting guy. He and I did a lot of shows together. Funny.
Oh, God, yes.
Almost illegally funny in some cases. But, we had creative differences. And there was a little dust up with some Vietnamese bookies down in Arkansas. Probably shouldn't get into that too much because it's still pending. So I left KGRA for greener pastures, but then I happened to be talking to someone who now runs the place. They invited us back on. So we're going to be back on. And what's good about KGRA, they have a lot of people, a lot of very loyal people. Coco was on there for a while, right?
6 years.
And they are very involved in everything that they hear on the radio. So we can't wait to get a whole new wave of, let's call it
Mac,
fan
with your
mail.
permission, I'd like to throw a quick shout out to the old tagline I used, to the greatest audience on the planet. And I hope they tune in to Mack Maloney's Military X-Files.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be fun. So anyway, thank you for making the big announcement. And now we're going to have, maybe if we can get Pistol Pete in here real quick. Hey, listen, while we have him here, we have a celebrity guest in the studio with us, and I just want to bring him back for nostalgic purposes. Pistol Pete Falcone. Now, listen, this is
Great to see the crew once
time.
again. Familiar faces I haven't seen in a long time, like Raven and Commander Cobra and Wan and everybody else.
That's Clubb and Switchy.
Yep, Switchy, of course. Yep, and Clubb and
Jocko. Jocko is down in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know that I've met Jocko.
Jocko
before.
Johnson.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's a pleasure to be back and see everybody. So
now, Pete is the owner of the station where we do the show from, WXEX in Exeter, New Hampshire. We are the other Exeter incident. But you also own a string of stations up the New England coast, right there, Pete?
I guess it would be like a handful.
A handful.
And they are a handful.
Okay. All right. And it's your main format is oldies of the 60s and 70s? Or
different variations of that. And we have one of them is a more contemporary, like today's hits type.
Oh, right.
station.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's not yacht rock, is it?
No,
Okay,
not yacht.
Thank God, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider yacht rock?
We actually, on our classic hit station, we actually have a yacht rock show. It's a syndicated thing. But,
it's all Fleetwood Mac and
it's
Stevie
like
Michael
Winwood.
McDonald.
It's Christopher
a
Cross
lot of
over
Michael
and over
McDonald.
again. Yeah.
Christopher Cross. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's actually pretty good. I like yacht rock.
well, it's 80s music in a way, right? And
it's this what's kind of like the softer side of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
It's music that you supposedly would play on your yacht.
Yeah, really? Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
like on a Sunday morning with a mimosa. And,
So it's in other words, it's what you play on your yacht, not
Right.
necessarily. We're in rowboats.
Yeah, right,
okay.
right.
All right, okay. Wow, interesting. So listen, do you remember way back when you and I used to do a show called Mack Maloney's Mystery Hour? I
That's
think.
right.
We run WMEX for a while in Boston.
That's right.
Then for about 6 shows, we run KGRA down in Arkansas. So you had some dealings with race. Do you remember?
Oh, very well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're back on KGRA now. That's the big announcement. Okay.
Oh,
Do you think that's a wise move for us business wise?
I think any distribution point is a plus.
Wow, that sounded a little cold, didn't it? It was like, wow.
No, but I mean, the more ears, the better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right.
Yeah.
And race is not involved anymore. I mean, I love him, like an adopted brother
he had
or something.
a voice like cold butterscotch.
And you used to remember we did a few bumpers for the old station, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Because he was so good.
Yeah.
He's great on the air. Great on the air.
Quite a voice. Yeah.
Off air, a little drama going on. A lot. As it turns out. Okay.
All right.
But we're back. He's no longer in, he's the patron saint, but I think someone has taken over
He's moved on.
He's moved on. Yeah, that's right. And for him, he's really moved on, as it turns out. He did go on a diet. He did tell me that. He's down to 580 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he lost 120 pounds.
Well, good for him.
Yeah. He'll probably find it again. Don't worry. We should have him on some night. Man, I wonder if he remembers some of the stuff we used to do. Probably not.
Just to catch up. Yeah. Well,
so
I still remember when you two would call me when sometimes you would have a problem with the live show guest.
Okay. Yes.
And I would be like vacuuming or doing something with the animals, and I'd have the phone, and then Grace would say, "Can you come on for 15 minutes?"
Yeah, we used to do that. Yeah, a lot.
Because the guest just, has completely flipped out on Mac, and the guy's nothing like he was supposed to be. Can you do 15 minutes? And I remember doing that a few times. It was great. It was actually a pretty cool thing to happen.
You talk about what you were accusing Steve of a little bit, a little bit earlier, performance art. I think that was an odd kind of performance art.
Yeah, Cobra would bail us out when we were having trouble trying to get the guy that was married to the alien.
Yeah, right. Or talking to aliens on the phone. Remember that?
That's right, yeah.
What was her name?
Well, you had the alien make the Super Bowl prediction, and it went nationwide.
It was in USA Today. You bet. We're right between the gorilla who ate the Patriots cake.
Okay.
And the octopus who, also pulled...
So like the Patriots.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Robert Kraft's, who know what out of the thing, out of the jar. It was complicated. But we had an alien who, he not only picked the Patriots to win it, but he actually picked very close to the score.
He was the closest out of all of them for the point spread.
Yeah, it was in USA Today,
Amazing.
Yeah, right. So anyway, that kind of put us on the map. Well, thank you, Pete, for that walk down memory lane.
My pleasure.
Okay. All right. Was it a painful memory for you? Should I not have brought it up?
No, that was great. That was actually in our old facility.
Yeah, down in Newburyport.
On the waterfront.
Yep,
yeah.
on the waterfront.
Yeah.
On top of the glass place.
That's right, yeah. That's right.
Where you got in trouble if you didn't park in the right parking spot.
Right, yeah, there's always
you
that.
could not park in the
issue.
parking lot of the
Oh,
glass
man, you
place,
talk
or
about getting on the wrong side of a nice
old
lady.
Mrs. Glass
Wow.
would be up your,
Yes, you're right. And didn't you tell us once that you got a complaint? The only thing that you got a complaint about us, we'd be there late at night, as it turns out.
Yeah.
A lot of smoke at the door. Did someone tell you that once?
Yeah, they weren't sure what was going on there. Yeah.
Thought the place was on fire. All right. Well, let's clap them off, as they say in the biz.
Thank you.
We're not often we have a multimillionaire on the show.
See you all
Yes.
once again. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes. Come on, that musical show. When we do another musical show.
Oh, I want to do that again.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Once again, as limo drivers out there,
Right.
revving the engine,
Okay.
adding carbon to the atmosphere.
Right. And pulling wheelies.
Firing up
by
the
way.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Pulling wheelies in a limo, man, that you have to. You know what? Stay with us while we log off here, where we go into the commercial, okay?
All right, yeah.
All right. Hey, listen, wow, this has really been interesting. First show of the year, the new year, and we got more to come. So why don't we do this when we take a commercial break now and regroup, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Mack Maloney's Military X-Files show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. We'll be right back after this. Thank you, Pistol Pete. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Do you know where the world's most secret bases are located? Do you know what spooky action at a distance means? Is there a conspiracy by aliens to prevent us from conquering space? And where is the best place in the United States to see a real UFO? Find the answers to all these questions and more in Mack Maloney's new book, Mack Maloney's Haunted Universe. Visit places you never knew existed: the Phantom Tunnels of Tokyo, the UFO Trail in South America, Ong's Hat, and the very mysterious M Triangle. Mack Maloney's Haunted Universe contains hundreds of reports on ghosts, haunted planes and ships, weird celebrity deaths, mysterious sounds, and a breakdown of every monster in America, state by state. You've heard him talk about it on the radio. Now, get all of Mack's paranormal research in one large volume. Mack Maloney's Haunted Universe, with a foreword by the very famous Wan Wan. On sale now in your local bookstore or on Amazon.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Mack Maloney's Military X-Files show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. This is Mack Maloney. What a show we have for you tonight. We've already started off with 26 minutes and 32 seconds of nothing but fun. All right. We just added all those minutes up, and now we got a lot more to go. So look, here we are back in the new year of, 20-something. And, of course, it's time for at least one, probably two, top 10 lists, okay, which apparently we're famous for. So, Raven, do you have your top 10 list?
I do.
Okay. All right, here we go. We're all a little rusty, out of practice, but let's see. And she just, someone just disappeared. Oh, there he is. Okay. So please start the music here. And this is top 10 New Year's resolutions of Teddy, Coco's Baller's Huss. Okay. The top 10 New Year's resolutions of Teddy, Coco's Baller's Huss. All right. Are we
Otherwise
ready?
known as a gelding in the industry.
Okay, yeah, kid. All right, here we go. Ready? Number 10, please, Raven.
Number 10, lay off the My Friend Flicka reruns for good. Cold turkey, finito.
Wow. Okay. All right. Quickly to number 9. It's a deep dive.
Number 9, watch the documentary on the Equine channel called The Racist Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed.
Number 8, please.
Number 8, take my therapist's advice and stop obsessing on whether my mother was lying when she told me my great-great-great-great-grandfather was Seabiscuit.
Long road. Long road. You feel free to laugh into the microphones, guys, okay? Please. All right, next, please, Raven.
Number 7.
Oh, thank you, Cliff. Thank you.
Try again to impart to Coco that I see UFOs and ghosts around the farm all the time, but he just won't listen to me.
Just won't listen.
That comes up quite a bit.
Won't listen to Teddy. Okay, please. Next one. This is top 10 New Year's resolutions of Teddy. Coco's ball is us.
Number 6, order that embroidered horse blanket from Amazon that says National Velvet was a slut.
Oh,
he does love that.
That's inappropriate. Next, please.
Number 5, stop writing fan letters to Zorro's horse Midnight and just accept the fact that he's just not into me.
Right? At some point, you have to face facts. Okay, next, please.
Number 4, review the surveillance footage and see if it was Zeppelin who snitched that night when we broke into Coco's liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
Oh.
I get a feeling.
Yeah, Zeppelin definitely has that kind of trait.
Does he really? He's got that DNA? Okay, interesting. The snitch DNA. Go ahead, please, Raven. There's top 10 New Year's resolutions of Teddy. Coco's ball is us.
Number 3, urinate more frequently in sheep's water bowl to get them back for quote-unquote doing it in front of me all the time.
Isn't that what's going on with the sheep, Coco? A lot of
actually, Finn is in the same category of building as Ted.
Really? Oh, you're cruel, man. Holy cow.
But there's a lot of, hey, let's do it because it's safe going on up here.
Okay. No, that's the upside. Okay. All right. So, but you're saying
I do believe if you stand up.
Now, how many of your animals don't have tool bags anymore? Is it more than 2?
None of the males have their tool bag.
Wow.
Otherwise, it'd be chaos out there.
There's a Stephen King novel right there, right? and he lives in Maine. It's perfect. All right, let's go.
True, yeah.
Let's move on.
Tool bag is sort of a code, right?
You look it up in the Urban Dictionary. You'll love it.
Yeah, it's number 1. Let's move. Raven, please. Top 10 New Year's resolutions of Teddy. Coco's balls.
Number 2. Offer up all my pain for the souls on horsey purgatory.
It's gonna be a horsey.
He is kind of a practicing Catholic.
Let me. I just want to tell the listening audience that Lois is laughing, but she's doing it below the radar here.
Sorry, my microphone was low.
She's doing her homework and laughing at the same time.
I can multitask.
She's dedicated.
Here we go.
Multitasking. That's good.
Okay, so we are now at number 1, right?
We are at number 1.
Okay.
All right. The number 1 New Year's resolution for Teddy, Coco's ballless horse. Send my latest bag of hair clippings to Switch because, he needs it.
Wow. Now that hurt.
Good,
That was excellent.
Okay. A little bit of horns. Hey, if you want to clap, please clap. It's $18 either way.
Yeah,
very clever.
Eddie's laying out there like a scene out of Young Frankenstein. Alan Brooker. He's letting you know what's going on. Yeah, there he is on the screen. By the way, if you want to.
There he is.
He's beautiful.
The guy himself. Okay. Huh. Okay. So.
He took quite a shine to Raven when she was here.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Okay.
Eddie was so cute, and Zeppelin, and Bear, and every animal that you have. They were all cute.
It's like all creatures great and small up there, isn't
Except, yeah, they're all missing, an essential part, or a lot of them are. But look at, isn't he like a stunted, not a stunted horse, but isn't Teddy kind of on the small side?
Yeah, he's a pony.
Pony. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
He's about 13 and a half, 14 hands.
Okay, so pony.
We found out recently that he had a lot of homes. We couldn't figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Mrs. Cobra did ride him for a while.
Oh,
he seemed to have some issues when she was riding. We think he was either abused or he had a really bad accident.
Okay, interesting. Yep.
And he had some damage to one of his hips.
He's
doing fine, and everyone has coats on up here tonight. We had to put coats on everybody because it's a little bit chilly.
It's very cold in New England.
That place is
he wanted a purple coat because he really likes Prince. So that was what the whole thing with him.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, he didn't lose all his good taste when he lost his,
Purple Rains.
Interesting.
Purple Rains.
Purple Rains.
There, Stevie. I mean, I set the ball. I'm looking for someone to spike it,
switch coming through there. So look at, why don't we do this? All right, why don't we segue right into, we have another top 10 list. And what happened was when we were on our hiatus, Lois and I did a few shows from the home, which is a really different experience, believe me. But at the first of one, we said, anyone who wants to ask questions of the staff, send us emails. Now, this all started when someone wrote me a letter and asked me if I was Coco's cousin. Remember that a while ago? And people thought that we were all kind of related, and so that kind of led into it and everything. So anyway, we read 10 of them 2 shows ago. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. And now we've got another bunch, and here's the top 10, and there's more than 10, but anyway.
So we do ask people to write in anytime they want to know something, and we'll compile them. And
about the staff.
Staff.
We might have to put the kibosh on this, maybe, because we're getting a lot of really weird emails. But why don't we at least go with these 10? Yeah, we clean
them up.
Okay, all right.
For the listening audience.
Clean them up is, the least of the problems, actually. Okay, go ahead. Please, this is top. What's the bit again?
It's more questions for the gang.
More questions for the gang. We'll start the music. And number 10, please.
Number 10.
Lois.
When was the last time Coco flew a helicopter that he can tell us about?
It's a loaded question.
Because so many times he's on a secret mission.
Well, I know that he's...
So is he thinking about that?
He's going to...
Is he...
The last time was a A6 little bird pulling armed with a machine gun. That's all I can think.
Wow, huh? Okay, the little egg, the flying egg. Wow.
And the killer egg, and that was 3 years ago.
Okay, that you can tell us about, because I know you've been in helicopter.
That's correct, Mac.
Aircraft.
I'm following the guidelines of your question.
Okay, all right. Then we better hurry the number. He's not going to be like, actually give him one beer and he's telling you the nuclear codes. Okay, that's true. All right, number 9, please, Lois, please.
Okay, number 9 is, does Wan still have his Mustang?
You still have your Mustang?
Yes, I do.
And they want to know, what's the mileage?
Wan has a Mustang that's lasted forever, and it's not one of the well-built Mustangs either, but somehow. What is the mileage on it right now?
It's still stuck at 671,000.
What year is it?
I'm sorry, 627.
Wow.
1914?
627,000. It's 95 Mustang GT 5.0.
Wow.
People probably want to know what color it is, too.
I was going to ask what color it is.
The girls think
black interior.
Really?
I want to know where you were
going. Exactly.
Where were you going?
Yeah. It was mostly highway traffic.
I don't know. It was lucky I get out of New Hampshire. I just drive to New York a bunch of times, and when one of the kids was in school up at Syracuse.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just accumulates when you drive it for 19 years year round, and you're all over the place I am.
But one time, your daughter, we had a discussion, and your daughter said that you were a newmancer, right?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Technomancer.
Where there are some people, when they're around...
What the hell is a technomancer?
Right, when they're around stuff like, stays together, it works better.
Old technology seems to work for me.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. To work.
And look at
it would continue to work if I could put it on the road. Unfortunately, I got some frame rust that any self-respecting shop would not give me a sticker and let me drive it.
Most of those Mustangs that year barely made it to 100,000 there, my friend. Okay, so you're doing something right. Okay.
I can say the guy in Brooklyn, you get all the...
There you go. He'll set you up. Let's get it down to Brooklyn. Talk about a trip.
A field trip.
All right.
Field trip.
I'll tow it to Brooklyn.
Tow it to Brooklyn. That's the name of the book.
Ooh, that
is take it out of the drawer, whatever you need.
Here we go. All right.
That could be like a cover song for what Beastie Boys. No sleep in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Tow it to Brooklyn.
Good one.
Yeah.
No Mustang till Brooklyn.
Right, yeah.
The lyrics write themselves.
Please, Lois, next, please, questions.
We are on number 8.
For the gang.
And speaking of Wan, in a recent Best of Show, Wan explained he was once hired by a wife to go through her husband's computer files, and they wound up getting divorced because of it. And listeners would like to know, has Juan Juan been hired since then to rat out any other husbands and destroy their lives? Well, maybe their lives should have been destroyed.
I stay away from that stuff because it's dangerous and there's legal ramifications. But
Okay. Well,
I was expecting.
I didn't really do a lot of forensics on this. This Yahoo email account that I was looking at.
You're not in court there, JJ. I was expecting a bigger laugh, but instead we get a lawyer's paragraph. Okay,
this is traitor to mankind.
Let's move on, please.
Okay, all right, ready, Raven? This is for you. Why does the listeners would like to know, why does her father, Lonely Larry, always drink cheap and disgusting beer?
Oh, God. I don't know.
Do you think it's cheap and disgusting? That's the question.
Oh, yeah, it's cheap and disgusting, yes.
Yeah, but do you agree? Because you're a connoisseur.
Who are you talking to?
I think he drinks cheap, crappy beer, personally. But I have taste and class.
Well, there you go.
There's that.
As it turns out.
Yes, you do.
So she can tell.
He's cheap and lonely.
She can tell he's cheap and lonely, right?
Maybe that's why he's lonely.
That's the name of his album. So listen, ever since I've known Lonely Larry for a long time, and he's always would write to me or tell me about like the latest cheap beer that he would buy. And it's usually like this beer that kind of comes back from the old days, so there's like a nostalgic thing to it too. But, Peels and Knickerbocker and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, my God.
Rheingold.
Rheingold.
Maybe they're retro.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah, it's like, when I was a kid, sneaking sips of my father's beer at 5 years old, even then I knew this stuff sucked, okay? But,
But you still did it.
But I still did
I did
right.
the same thing. I would take a sip of the Jenny Club, and it was gross.
What's the running tally on Pabst Blue Ribbon? Because that seems to be like the in beer now, and I laugh my six off when I meet 20-somethings and 30-somethings telling me how cool PBR is.
Yes.
Those are Coco.
Yes.
Those are hipsters.
The hipsters.
Look that up on Urban Dictionary.
Capital
they
H.
love PBR.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And the funny thing is,
none of it's
not
the same.
PBR we grew up with.
None of it's the same.
Different.
Oh,
It's like Twinkies today.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah, you got that right.
Hey,
Twinkies and
are
PBR. You tell me that's a snack. Is that what's going on there?
oh, man, that I would love. Yes, I would dunk them. Okay, next, please, for the questions of the staff, Lois.
Well, sticking with Raven, you're very popular these days. The second question for Raven is, and since it's hat season, people want to know, when is bun season again?
When does bun season come back is the question.
So bun season usually starts about, I would say, spring. So like April-ish, because that's when it becomes too unbearable to wear a hat.
Okay, all right.
I have a system. Okay, hat
is there any kind of
season
tying with
starts
the Easter
in fall.
bunny? Get it? Easter bun.
Oh.
Is there any tie-in?
Every bun has an egg hidden in it.
Oh, wow, okay.
I just stick a hard-boiled egg in it.
Just got really weird. I did see Juan actually wrote that date down, so that's good. Thank
There
you,
you go.
Juan,
He's
for
counting down the
paying
days.
attention. I appreciate that.
I do.
Okay, here we go.
Your fans can't wait. Okay. Now we switch to Switch. Are you ready?
Switch to Switch.
What's the name of Coco's favorite duck?
Hang on.
For me?
Hang on.
That's for you, Switch.
Yeah, okay, hang on.
Daffy.
Daffy. Yes, I thought it was Daisy, but let him talk. Who's your favorite duck there, Coco?
But why is it for Switch if it's about Coco?
Well, we're asking Switch
I'm curious.
if he knows the name of Coco's favorite duck.
Okay.
He said Daffy, I said Daisy. Go ahead, Coco.
It's Daisy.
Daisy. See, I knew.
Of course, he would like the female.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Little comment there from Lois, but that's all right. Please, next. These
Lois believes she has my number.
Questions.
I do have
That's new. That's new.
That's new.
But these are questions for the crew. Here we go.
Yep. We're continuing with question 4. Question for Clubb from South Boston. If Clubb looks so much like Whitey Bulger, aren't the other members of the gang nervous they'll get whacked when they go out drinking with him?
Frankly, yes. That has crossed my mind. You agree there, Juan? You look like you're agreeing, but you don't want to speak.
I do. But the thing is that you never pay when you go in with Whitey to any of the establishments we go in when Clubb leading the parade. So it's sort of like, you're You're in, in the presence of royalty,
Right,
South Boston.
but you
royalty.
do want to leave. You do want to leave at some point, and never go into a 99. There's a real inside joke. But anyway, Club, you want to speak?
Oh my Lord, that's very.
Do you want to speak for yourself?
As long as you watch the door, keep your back to the wall, and check the mirrors, you're good.
Right, you're good. You
Just don't stand too close to them.
Yeah, you guys aren't worth going to jail for.
Oh, there you go. There's tough
Club,
love.
really, do you get looks when you go into some of these places? Just like.
Depends on the time of the year.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
It happened once. It happened in Ireland when Whitey was on the limb.
Yes.
Yep. And my wife believed that someone was reporting me to the local
constabularies.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Called the Garda.
Okay,
God, I
so
was
we
trying to think of the name.
we should explain that Whitey Bulger was a famous Boston gangster, and he was involved in lots of different things. And then he was involved with the FBI as kind of an informant. There's this, Club's holding up the book. Yeah, I have that book too. And then he went on the lam. The FBI basically gave him a tip, and he was gone for a long time. It's like 12 years or something. They were, quote unquote,
He was on the top 10 list for a long
looking for him, quote unquote. He's the last guy the FBI wanted to catch because he knew, where other bodies were buried, FBI wise, because he was in with them. And then they finally caught him. And but during that time, there was a lot of time they thought he was in England, in the UK, because they thought that'd be the last place he'd go. But he was spotted everywhere. And Clubb looks just like him. When he puts on those glasses, that white T-shirt and the white Red Sox hat.
And the white Red Sox.
Man, wear your
They were seeing Clubb.
Wear your vest.
Unbelievable.
Well, let's just say for the record so that no one has to write it in. We never saw the two of them in the same room at the same time. So I just want to make sure we get that clear.
And the fact that Whitey's dead, that someone put an end to his misery with a bag full of nickels at the
Well, I don't know. Is Elvis dead?
Right. Who knows?
Who knows?
Point.
That's true.
Saddam Hussein had a lot of doubles. I'm just saying.
I think Gotti's still kicking.
Yeah, that's what Jocko's. Anyway, conspiracies that John Gotti is still alive, too. Where are we there, Lois?
We are getting down to the end. On our countdown number 3 is please have Jocko explain chicken in pajamas.
Yeah, Jocko, you've said that a couple times. What is chicken in pajamas?
It's like veal in pajamas, shrimp in pajamas. It's chicken parmesan.
Chicken parmesan.
Oh, Parmesan's referred to as pajamas?
Well,
I didn't know that.
in New
You
York.
look at it.
Yeah.
People in New York, some of them can't read too good, so.
So it's the next best thing.
Yeah, it's in pajamas.
Parmigiana.
Pajamas.
Yeah.
If you go into a restaurant in Little Italy, would they know what you meant if you said it?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
They wouldn't throw you out.
I bet that if you said that in the right restaurant, you get a really, really special meal.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
You get the good
I
stuff.
bet you walk in there, you start throwing around the chicken in pajamas, and they have a really, really special sauce they've got set up for that meal.
It's not the kind of sauce you're making it to be. It's very good, and it's on the arm then.
Yeah, on the arm. So look that up, folks. So anyway, hopefully we're coming to the end of this.
We are, but
please,
while
Lois.
we're on Jocko, people want to know, is it true Jocko has a snack company called Jerkin' with Jocko?
Jerkin' with Jocko's, we get a lot of emails about that. How's that going?
I tell you how we make that jerky,
It's
right?
beef jerky, folks. Go ahead.
Yeah, we used to get like mope jerky, like you lock a guy up.
All right, that's it. Okay, what's the last one?
You bang the door, he falls out of stairs.
We're down the way. We're down the end of the...
We are
He's
down
all
to the end.
stretched out,
Wow. Okay, so listen, this is the number one question
Which
asked of the crew.
I kind of want to refuse to read, to tell you the truth. Because I don't agree with it, but this is what somebody wrote.
Go ahead.
I can't say it.
You have to say it.
I forget it by now.
It says, why is a cutie like Lois married to a, I don't even want to say this out loud, loser like Mack Maloney?
Get that guy, say, give me that return address.
Love mom.
You got my email, huh?
Whitey.
Yikes. Yeah, really.
Speaks up.
We did not check where they came
Oh, my goodness.
That's okay. That was from my mother. She's on tour.
That's not nice.
All right, when we do this, when we take a commercial break now.
Max mom.
And I would take a commercial commercial break now, and we'll be right back after this. You're listening to Mack Maloney's Military Exile Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. The entire gang is here for the new year. The Beatles are back together, and we'll be back right after this. Stay tuned.
Imagine you knew what was going to happen 2 seconds before it happened. Imagine you lived with the world's most beautiful supermodel. Imagine you drove a Jaguar with machine guns behind the headlights. Well, it's time to stop dreaming and start reading about Navy Lieutenant Chris Starr, hero of Mack Maloney's new best-selling paranormal detective series, Codenamed Starman. Who murdered the most beautiful T-girl in San Diego? Who's bombarding a small Massachusetts town with heavy artillery on Christmas Eve? Who's causing the mass murder of terrorists in the jungles of Africa? These are the cases Lieutenant Chris Starr must solve in the Kalashnikov Kiss, the first book in Mack's exciting new series, Codenamed Starman. Follow the Starman as he uses his psychic abilities to crack cases the U.S. Navy has declared too unusual. Find out why the Pentagon calls him the X-Files guy. And what is the wormhole anyway? To find out, get your own tomato can and be ready for action, strange adventures, paranormal activity, and lots of cover models in Codenamed Starman, The Kalashnikov Kiss by Mack Maloney. On sale now at Amazon and your local bookstore.
Welcome back, everyone, to Mack Maloney's Military Exile Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. This is Mack Maloney. Wow, what a show we have for you tonight. Let me just quickly introduce the members of the gang. The Beatles are back together, including Eric Clapton and Billy Preston and everyone else, as it turns out. Very famous Juan is here, girls. Hope you're ready.
Oh, glad to be here.
That's it. Okay, all right.
Oh, hello. Glad to be here.
Would you take a vow of silence for the new year? What's the matter with you?
Hello, Paul.
Okay. All right, girls. Less is more when it comes to him. Coco is with us, Commander Cobra.
On the wing. Thank you, Mac.
Okay. You've changed your background. Looks like are those the Thunderbirds, or what are those things?
That's actually Royal Air Force
Interesting.
Training Command.
Now, are you facing the right way in the cockpit now? We had...
Yes, I am, because I didn't want to upset Clubb anymore
right.
and garner any more of his animosity.
It's good. Looks
Well,
like
those planes behind you, they're going in the wrong direction, aren't they, those jets? What's going on there?
No, they're in a break.
Oh, a break?
Coffee break.
Yes, one's braking left and one's braking right.
Okay. Oh. You're getting out of the way.
That cord there in the cockpit.
Okay.
That's so that if you have to hit the ejection, that will cause the canopy to crack and break.
Wow.
That cord.
Have you ever ejected out of a plane there, CC?
No.
Have you
I've been through some pretty accurate simulators. They give you the good, couple G pull that you have to practice doing it, and then of course you do the one where you go into the water. That's always fun.
Oh, that's cool. Good name for a band, 2G pull. Okay,
I flew a simulator for a C-141 cargo jet. I crashed every time.
Really? Yeah, you? Yeah.
Not so easy as it looks.
It's a big plane. That's not a little Piper Cub there. Okay, so look at next on the totem pole is our national correspondent up there in the Boulder Flakes. Battle Creek, Michigan, Switchblade, Steve Board. I almost called you Switchboard for the first time this year.
I am beyond happy to be here.
Now, you know what he's doing? He's taking on a Richard Dreyfuss look. That's it.
That's it. Right.
Look at him.
Exactly.
Look at him.
Good one.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
You're going to need a bigger boat, Switchy.
Yeah. Let's talk about Richard Dreyfuss in another episode because I think he's a punk. But anyway, you look good. You look good. And I went to film school, right, Wawan?
You did.
You really do look good.
You were hardcore. You got all A's.
Also, no, that's not true. Also looks a little Hemingway-esque. Don't you think he's kind of taking on Hemingway a little bit there?
The old man in the seat thing going.
The old man, or at least, the old man. Yeah, okay. All right, Switchy.
I know I went with that. You'll need a bigger boat, reference. There it is.
Has he said has he said anything yet? Okay.
Switch, your cats have 6 toes?
That's code. Okay. All right. Let's
That's going to generate some emails. That'll generate some emails.
Hemingway had 6-toed cats.
Oh, did he really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the name of a drink. Hey, listen, our security chief is here. Willy Clubb. Willie, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Mac? How's everyone?
Doing okay. Even though
we're doing good.
Everyone seems to be pretty sharp tonight. I noticed that a lot of alert people here.
It's early. It's early. Don't worry.
I know.
We're sharp.
Hey, listen, the Boston sports have gone right down the old drain, haven't they?
No, I know it.
Hey, I'm a sports person, and I'm with them win or lose, but it's almost baseball season.
Oh, wow. Well, then that will be lose. Okay. Interesting. Red Sox are supposed to really blow this year. So, also, our Southern correspondent, Jocko Johnson, was with us. Jojo, how you doing?
Good to be in the squad here, Mac.
Okay. All right. Everything good with you?
Good.
Yeah.
Good as can be, you know.
Did you put your Giants?
Could be better. Could be worse.
Did you put your Giants hat away yet? Did you put away your Giants?
I'm a fan. You know, I was going to the games in Yankee Stadium. I was 5-6 years old.
Oh, fuck. Go ahead. Yep.
But, you know, I mean, deep down, I bleed giant blue, you know. But let me tell you.
That's a shame.
This coach they got, this fake tough guy, boy, I'd love to beat him in a corner.
Fake tough guy, yes.
You got like this one little, like, go to skim a backhand, he'd be crying and peeing his
Straighten
pants.
him out. Yep. Straighten him out, you know.
Oh, man.
Like run some
But he's
freaking
over there now.
professional plays. Yeah. Oh, well, it's
Really. Yeah.
it's
7-year-olds can figure this stuff
I know a lot of Giants fans, and it's really like too bad. So
The
anyway,
worst thing is they're going to leave him.
well, you'll see. They'll change something. They have to because they're just so unbelievably bad. Also, rounding out the Brady Bunch here is with us our favorite good witch up there in Sideways, New York, Raven.
Hello, my friends.
Hello, Raven.
Is it Arctic weather up there yet? Is it Arctic weather?
Yes, it is.
Yep. Okay, but you used to it,
8
right?
degrees.
Well, it was 8 degrees here too, you know. But okay, but you're used to it, right? That's what happens up there in Sideways. NY. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
Makes you tough, toughens you up. That's good.
That's what the hat is for.
There you go.
Exactly.
My hat. Oh, her hat. Okay. All right.
No, your
Do you
hat
have any
is for
snow
something
there,
else.
Raven? Any snow?
Yeah, we got like 3 inches the other day, but we got hit real bad with just straight ice. So everything is just
My favorite.
You can't even step outside without falling.
Much rather have snow, man, than that freezing
me
rain
too.
and that ice and stuff. Also in the studio with us tonight, making a increasingly rare appearance.
Oh, increasingly not rare.
Oh,
you
that's
mean.
right.
It's the
Sorry, I
opposite.
misspoke. Doing her homework while participating on the show is the very lovely Lois Lane. Lois.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Hello,
it's great to
Lois.
be here, but I just wanted to make Club happy to know
wow.
that. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
It's 33 days, 4 hours, 1 minute, and 57 seconds left until spring training.
Oh, that,
I
when the
was
real
off by
misery
a minute.
begins.
Oh,
yes.
thank you.
I just happen to have the countdown because we kind of count down to that. We also count down to Truck Day, if anybody knows
Truck
what that
Day.
is.
Yeah, Truck Day.
Got to be from Boston to know what Truck Day is, man. When is Truck Day?
I don't have that countdown handy.
That's about a week before spring
Yeah,
training.
about two.
Oh,
Yeah,
at
about a week
least.
and a half.
That-
Yeah.
It seems like it takes the
Maybe
truck a
longer.
month to
That's
get
about
down to Florida.
26.
Let me
What
just-
is Truck Day?
I'll just explain. So in Truck Day, so the Red Sox fans are so insane about the baseball team, it's crazy. It's just off the charts for any kind of logical sense to it. But anyway, the thing is that in Boston, baseball starts on Truck Day, and that's basically the day that they load up all the Red Sox stuff from Fenway Park in Boston, load it up to bring it down to Florida for spring training. And when the truck is loaded up, I mean, it's like it's you know, like a celebrity is in town. There's like thousands of people who line up to see the truck leave. Okay, look at now he's got his Red Sox hat out, and it's like a big deal. I mean, it's crazy. And then they have people along Route 95. You know, calling in remote reports. Oh, I'm down in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It just went by us. It's insane. They track it the whole way. It's like
It's on the Mass Pike.
Santa
It's
Claus.
everywhere.
Yeah, we see it. We just saw it.
It's an event.
It's an event. Now, here's the funny thing. And the news people in Boston carry it like crazy. You know, it's like it's like a city holiday. The Minnesota equipment truck gets there earlier than the Red Sox one. It gets there a day ahead of time, okay? They never tell you that. Okay, because they're the Twins, but they do. But it's a big day. It's a big day. And that's less than 3 weeks away because it's usually early February, right?
Right.
Right. So
is that wow? Yeah,
there you go.
I guess it's already.
Club is already perked up because
There you go. See, I made you happy. I was working on a club because you seemed a little grouchy.
You seemed a little grouchy. A little grouchy, Club.
He
earlier.
sort of was picking on everybody.
Luckily, Lois is here. That's what he does.
Well, no, it's because I love them so much.
Oh,
It's
okay.
tough
That's
love.
how you show your love. I gotcha. Some people do that. I show it by being kind, but
wow. Okay.
Well, I'll stay away from you.
Yeah. Right. Look what it's done for me.
Who was your favorite Red Sox player of all time? You didn't have to be the best player, or just somebody you liked. And
Dustin Pedroia.
admired.
I don't know. I love Ted Williams because he was just so good.
Yep, crazy.
But I always liked Jackie Jensen.
Jackie Jensen. Oh wow,
big home run hitter
from the '60s. Yeah, he was great. Yep.
My number one's a tie.
Who is it? Go ahead.
Ted Williams and Mo Burke, the two of them.
Mo Burke. Yeah. Mo Burke was a spy. He was a baseball player, but he was also a spy for the U.S.
Yes, we saw that movie.
Right before the World War II in Japan. It's a great movie. He lived a crazy life. Spying and being a professional baseball player was just one or two of the things that he did in his life. Very interesting guy. Okay, so
my favorite player was
let's go around the
Dick Stewart. He was a guy I admired.
Dr. Strangeglove.
Stone Fingers.
Yeah.
He was a whack job.
Yep. Hey, listen.
Number 7. I put a number 7 on my bat. I was a Dick Stewart fan all the way. And, of course, Pumpsy Green.
Pumpsy Green was favorite, the first black player to play for the Red Sox. But
I had that yearbook. It was a black and white yearbook. Don Budden, Pumpsy Green, Jerry Casale,
Gary Geiger,
Jesus,
Jimmy Pearsall,
Russ Tillman,
ran backwards.
Richard Jesus didn't play for. He would have been on the Angels.
Wow. Hey, listen, Dick Stewart.
Bill Mumblecat.
Dick Stewart was one of these guys. He'd have he played first base. He had 25 errors, but he'd hit 45 home runs every year. Okay,
that's right.
And that's what they called him, Dr. Strangeglove. So one day,
Stone Fingers,
right before they're taking batting practice, and they start the game, and a hot dog wrapper goes across the field, and he picks it up with his glove, and they gave him a standing ovation.
Breaking news, Mac. Breaking news.
Go ahead.
All the Giant Nation, the poor suffering fans.
Go ahead.
Giants fired Joe Judge, New York Post.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh,
Late
good.
Tuesday afternoon, Judge was fired after 2 ugly years on the job.
Ooh, too ugly. Ugly doesn't even come close to it, baby.
I am so happy.
Yeah. Okay.
Coming back
Formerly
to
of the Patriots.
Is he coming back to the
I'm going to
Pats?
have him. Take him. Goodbye.
See, the
didn't want him.
Yeah, where he goes. Get
Joe
lost.
who? When he left, it was Joe who?
Now, listen. The conspiracy thing is that Belichick recommended him, and he screwed up the Giants.
Yeah, of course.
It's better than beating them on the field. Just screw them up in the front office. And that guy, man, he did stuff. I believe he was a mole because he did
He's
stuff.
just a fake tough guy.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And some of his speeches and stuff were just what are you
bizarre.
on there, dude? LSD, maybe. So anyway.
So
Gone.
Go ahead, please, Lois.
Well, I was just going to say I have 2 favorite Red Sox players. Dave Roberts, of course, because
Dave Roberts, he did the steal. Yep.
He did the steal, so you got to give him that.
Yes.
But also Dustin Pedroia.
Great guy, yes.
Yeah. Just because he was told his entire life he was too small and he wasn't going to amount to anything, but his mother just supported his dream of being a baseball player, and he never gave up, and he was a baseball player in MLB. So come on.
He was
very inspiring.
Rookie of the year and most valuable player in the same year.
Yeah, and he was just so dedicated. He was really professional all the way through. He never did anything that you.
He was he was a little guy that someone told me he couldn't, so he did. And
exactly.
Like me, that's what I was told all my life too. I was too small to lost.
You never amount to anything.
Wait,
hey, listen. As a New Yorker, I have a favorite Red Sox.
Oh,
go ahead.
Big fan of this guy. Bill Buckner, baby.
Bill.
Of course.
Yeah, you. I just got it.
We finally forgave him a couple of years ago.
Through the wicket. He kept calling the Mets looking for a job.
He came back to the Red Sox for 1 year. People forget that.
And the GM at the time, the guy would be like, Are you kidding? It's a joke. Just hang up. And it really was him. Finally got through and he says, Bill, I'm sorry. If I ever say anything for you, I'll let you know.
Yeah, listen. Right after that happened, once again, Bill Buckner with 2 outs, 3-2, and then the last out of the World Series. All they have to do is catch the ball and stand on first base, and they win their first World Series since like Babe Ruth was around. Okay,
Mookie Wilson, baby.
Wait a minute. Doesn't the Bill Buckner game 6?
Yeah, but they would have won.
It was game 6.
Yeah.
But if they won it, if the Sox
could have won it, right? But yeah,
they could have won it through the wickets, baby. Right, but he couldn't even bend over the old man. He was a crooked and busted.
So it happens like 2 days later. This friend of mine calls me up out of the middle of nowhere and says, "You hear about Bill Buckner?" I go, "What?" He goes, "I don't know. He screwed up. He was like downtown Boston. He walked right in front of a bus." I go, "You're kidding me?" He says, "Is he dead?" He says, "No, it went through his legs."
Him and Scott Norwood up there in Buffalo.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to get to a new segment now for the new year. This is the Clubb Report. We'll play the teaser right here.
Reporting the latest in the U.S. military's new investigation into UFOs and what they still aren't telling you. It's time for the Clubb Report.
Just recently, in the past few months, the U.S. government has actually opened up an office and funded a project to look into UFOs. Okay, they have some other different name for them, AEPs or something, but basically for the first time ever, the U.S. government, the U.S. military has said, okay, we're going to study these in the open and let you know what's happening. In fact, that's what their brief is to tell the public everything they find out. So there's always breaking news on it, and Clubb's going to update us on a weekly basis what's going on. So this is the Clubb Report. Willie.
Well, Mac, thanks. First of all, I think for our listeners that don't have much information on this whole topic, this goes back to November, just around Thanksgiving, when the Congress put money in the budget. The annual budget all of a sudden came out, and they had an amendment to the budget, and this amendment was to establish this investigative unit as part of the Department of Defense. And there'd been a lot of talk about it for quite a while, but no one ever thought anything would happen. But all of a sudden, it got in there, and it got passed through both houses. And the main thing is, and the critical thing was that they put it in the budget, and they funded it. No one seems to know how much they really put into this as far as funding is concerned.
Interesting.
But they played it up quite a bit. So we believe that there's, they're going to set up a pretty decent group there. But, the main thing is that they now have established a formal office for investigation. And the charge from Congress for them is that their role is to determine whether the aerial phenomena belong to a foreign government or something else. And an important part of this is we now have a new acronym thanks to the government. It's we no longer have UFOs, we have UAPs, which stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena.
Not sexy at all. UFOs are a sexy name.
No, it's not, but it gets even worse. They've also given it an acronym, which the government's always good for the group itself. And the acronym is AOIMSG. So remember that, AOIMSG.
They put that in your food.
In the title of this group, and that stands for the Airborne Objects Identification Management Synchronization Group.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. How's that going to fit on the T-shirt?
You want to go back to flying saucer.
Yeah, it's kind of concerning that they're really taking this seriously when they come up with a name like that. But what we do know is there's funding in there, so they put their money where their mouth is. So the important thing is that they've established this group. They are part of the Department of Defense, and they're going to be located in the office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Securities. And as far as we can determine, they're not going to be part of the space flight.
But there's no way of knowing if this is from outer space. You know what I mean? Could be from somewhere else.
We don't, But that's right now the charge is, because there's still concern that there are hypersonic planes, Mach 5, that China supposedly has been testing, and even Russia. Right. So right now, from everything I've read and heard, they're not just saying, no, we're going after, alien spacecraft. They really don't know. At least that's what they're telling us.
Right.
There's some suspicion that they do have an idea what's going on, and that's one of the reasons they're putting this group together so that they can get enough evidence against another country to go after them for some of the hijinks that have been going on up in the sky, particularly when it's aimed at aircraft, particularly U.S. military aircraft. As we know, there's been some incidents out there. So
yes.
So anyways, the investigation is their main thing, though some are referring to them as the secret sky police, because the UFO community, a lot of the big players in the UFO community are not very happy about this establishment of this new group. There's a lot of skepticism. They feel that what it's doing is allowing the government to further, put this whole thing with UFOs underground by putting it in this group that obviously is, they hope, is going to be transparent. So anyways, right now, there isn't a lot going on yet since they've just been established. But we'll find out, I'm sure, in short order, if they're really going to be some kind of effective group that is going to actually come out and, pass on information. They are including in there an advisory committee, which is a civilian, made up of civilian agencies.
Yes.
And they'll include NASA, the FAA, the Federal Aviation and Air.
That's just, but that's the usual.
I had to get that one out.
And that the usual, just, kind of Washington, D.C.
And also academia.
Masturbation.
So, anyways, my feeling is that I think this is, I'm not as negative about it. I think it does elevate the reputation of the UFO subject. The government hasn't done anything since Blue Book, 30 plus years ago.
Oh, even more.
So now to all of a sudden to come up and put together a unit that's going to officially look into these things, I think we ought to give them a chance. So like I say, the UFO community, a lot of them consider it, they just don't like it. They think it's just going to result in more secrecy and all.
Right.
So needless to say, this is the new group. Nothing's been going on. I've been monitoring different websites and the Pentagon and so on.
Yes.
No reports have been issued, no press conferences.
No, just the
nothing.
Original press reports that came out in November, back around the 23rd. The different agencies came out with their own reports.
Right.
But they all mirrored each other. But so again, there's suspicion that this could create just more of a government cover-up, and particularly with the government's history.
It's
of
another
secrecy.
layer. But listen, so you're going to be updating us? Is that the angle for this? You'll be updating us?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. And there may be times when we'll have a lot to report.
Right.
But I think the important thing now is to find out, is this for real? Or is this, as a lot of the ufologists worry about, is that it's just another effort by the government, to bury this.
Oh,
So I think there'll be a lot of pressure on the DOD to show some action steps here.
Okay.
And so as soon as, I get more, I'll be able to, give you an update. Probably won't be weekly unless all of a sudden they start doing something.
Well, see,
right
that'd
now,
be weird.
I
Yes.
think they're busy establishing their team.
It's going to be strange. Just and I got a bunch of questions. I know Coco and probably other people do too. But first, my question is this: it's going to be very interesting to see how they work the media on these things. Okay, it's going to be interesting to see what they choose to put out as a press release, as opposed to someone finding Freedom of Information Act and all that jazz. It'll be interesting to see what they say. My second question is that I believe, real quick, the so-called Tic Tac videos are the ones that really kind of spurred this on. For some reason, the Navy got involved. Who knows? But one of the original Tic Tac videos took place in 2004. Okay, that's a long time ago. And here's the thing: is that I think we would know by now if some foreign adversary had technology like you see on that video. We would know. If China had that kind of technology in 2004, believe me, they'd be running the show right now around the world, because what that Tic Tac video shows, and then what other ones show, just not 12 years later or whatever, is that this is some kind of technology, some kind of movement through space that we have no idea what they're doing, because they're not flying aerodynamically. They're flying some other way. Coco, do you agree?
No, I don't, Mac. I'm convinced that Tic Tac is a terrestrial created system. I do agree that your take that it's most likely not a Soviet or a People's Republic of China device for the reason that you outlined, since they like to publicize faulty data to make the world believe that they're flying hypersonic vehicles and creating all this great technology. I do not have a high opinion of their research and development. They steal everything. We're kind of the knuckleheads here that and we sell the stuff out. It's a very ugly situation we find ourselves in.
It's not them.
Say again?
It's not them.
No, it's not them. I agree.
It's not the Russians.
I tend to think it's our capability, and I think it's our capability that we have a very difficult time making it work, and it's going to be too unsettling to the military-industrial complex to change it. There's too many people making too much money on the same old BS that we've been doing for the last 60 or 70 years.
Okay,
that's just Commander Cobra's take on it.
But okay, and then we'll go around the horn here if we have to.
Can I throw one quick thing in, though, Mac? I think I sent this to you.
Go ahead.
It ties in with what, and I'd like to get Clubb's take on this. NASA put a pretty big press release out about having all these divinity specialists and specialists in there to discuss how religion and world religion would react.
Can handle it.
To the announcement that there are extraterrestrials that we have made contact or our contact has come up. This is the same movie. This is the sequel maybe 5 or 6 different times over the years. You and I have talked about this a number of times over the years, going all the way back to the KGRA days.
Go ahead.
That, you have these studies and everyone's convinced, that everything is going to collapse. Well,
Yes.
the times we're living in right now, I think most people would yawn if the announcement came out. I just don't think that it would be that... We're controlling information. It's weaponized, and the folks that are trying to run the show are desperate to stay ahead of it, and they're treating us like the mob. And the mob not being the organized crime, but the unwashed masses.
All right, listen. Let me ask you this, okay? So what you are saying, this is yes and no. Okay, what you're saying is that it's run, they are our technology, probably under the guise, let's just say the CIA for the hell of it. They're doing these things, and they're making the Navy and the government and everyone, NASA, the works, be the dupes of basically seeing their technology but pretending it's from somewhere else.
Yes, but not maybe quite that succinctly, but yes.
Okay. Clubb, thank you. Okay.
You're quite welcome. I'm finding this quite interesting, but I think time will tell.
Yes.
If this is a legitimate
just
effort
another
by the government.
Is it a boondog or is it something legit? I don't know.
to further hide things that they know that have happened out there.
Right.
But I'm keeping an open-minded. All I've been reading, it's, I'm not surprised the UFO community is really skeptical.
Why wouldn't they be?
All the big names out there are.
During Project Blue Book, they fed them false information and set people up for tremendous falls.
Could be just
to cover up their own operations and to be dissenters in that.
Could be a repeat of that. Hey, listen, why don't we do this? Lois, why don't we do this, okay?
Why don't we do this?
All right,
I think that's a great idea. What is this?
Keeping time here. We're going to take a commercial break now, and we'll be right back after this. You're listening to Mack Maloney's Military Exile Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. The entire gang is here, and I mean JJ, Coco, Switchy, Raven, Clubb, JoJo, and Lois Lane. Did I get everyone?
You did.
Okay.
You committed us.
No, you didn't get the ghost in the studio.
The ghost.
Giving us an update today.
Ixnay on the ghost. Okay, so why don't we do this when we take a commercial break now, and we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
We've all heard of Area 51, the U.S. government's top secret base in the Nevada desert. But have you ever heard of Area 52 or 53 or 54? 54? How about Tonopah Test Range or the Navy's secret base inside the Bermuda Triangle? Find out about them and more in Mack Maloney's Beyond Area 51, Mysteries of the World's Most Forbidden Places. Did Richard Nixon show Jackie Gleason a crashed alien spaceship near the swamps of Florida? Is it true that more UFOs are seen over a small Scottish village than anywhere else in the world? And is there a secret place in Russia that some people think is heaven on earth? In Mack Maloney's Beyond Area 51, you'll visit more than a dozen top secret places around the globe. The haunted forests of New Jersey, a valley in Colorado where shadows come alive and humans can fly without wings. And where's the only secret base in America that's not been visited by UFOs? You've heard Mack talk all about these places on his radio show. Now you can read all about them yourself. That's Mack Maloney's Beyond Area 51, Mysteries of the World's Most Forbidden Places. Now on sale at Amazon.
Welcome back, everyone, to Mack Maloney's Military Exile Show here on the Distant Thunder Radio Network. This is Mack Maloney, okay? What a show we've put on already tonight, and we're not through yet. Very quickly, the very famous Juan is here. Juani.
Hello, Mac. It's been a wild show so far.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Pretty weird.
Just the way we planned that. Okay, Coco was here, up there in his, bunker. Whatever.
In on the wing there, Mac. In and on the wing.
Chicken wing, okay. Switchblade Steve is here. We haven't called him Switchboard yet. Switchy.
I'm glad to be called anything.
He had like a half a breakfast today. He's went minimal today. No hash browns and what? No toast?
No, it's a full breakfast.
But
I just didn't really pile it on.
I had toast. Okay. Did you have hash browns?
No.
Okay. And what else did you not have?
I did not have pancakes, French toast.
Oh, right. So he didn't go for
waffles.
Okay, good.
Steak.
I would have had all that.
I went all four. Me too.
Saturday.
And biscuits.
Okay. Biscuits and gravies. Forget the grits. They're well named. Hey, look. Also here is our security chief, Willy Clubb.
Hi, Mac.
Okay.
Hi, gang.
Is anyone tonight?
Hey, Willy.
Is there anyone tonight you'd just want to slap around just so far?
Yeah, there are nights you just want to eat that but
Okay. You're not naming names?
You have to just move on. Okay. You have to just move on.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Okay. Speaking of moving on, the original JoJo is here. Jocko Johnson way down there in south of the border.
Call me anything. Just don't call me late for dinner, baby.
There you go. Okay. All right. You're one of those. Lois Lane is with us in the studio. She's correcting her homework, kids.
I am. I'm getting lots of work done and being entertained while doing so.
Wow. So grade us. Have we got an A+ yet or a B- or what?
You're off the charts.
That's not an answer. Yeah,
What side of the chart?
I'm sure we're going to be hearing about this at the PDA conference.
There you go.
Also,
the FBI be waiting for us.
Also, up there in Sideways, New York, going through the Arctic chill with ice is our favorite good witch, Raven. Raven, how you doing?
Hey, my friends. I'm good. Thanks for having
Raven.
me.
Got a hat on.
What are we drinking tonight, Raven?
Tea.
Tea.
Tea. Okay.
Tea. Okay.
Lemon balm tea.
What's in the tea?
A balm, lemon balm.
Lemons and bombs? I don't know. I just
we'll find
had
out.
it lying around. So.
Report back later. Thank you. So listen, we're all here. The gang's all here. And Switchy is going to give us a report from the Fringe. We got a bumper for you, Switch, so hang on.
And now it's time for another story from the lost annals of the paranormal. It's time for Steve Ward's Report from the Fringe.
Okay, Switchy. Report from the Fringe. You know, I before we say this, I can't tell you how popular Switch is all of a sudden. And just in the past 2 months, we always make fun of him, but not making fun of him. You know, that he's a career climber or anything. That is like Dylan in the back of the limo. But, you know, he was on Paracast, right? Which one? Were you on that show with Gene Steinberg?
Yes.
Okay.
Just recently.
Right.
Gene Steinberg and Tim Swartz.
Oh, sure.
Tim Swartz used to be on with Timothy Green Beckley.
Right.
On Exploring the Bizarre.
Right.
And
good name
it was
for
good. First time I met Gene, but I've been on with Tim Swartz several times.
Interesting. Did they call you or did you call them?
Tim Swartz knew of me. He's helping Gene line up some guests once in a while.
Okay.
And he knew of me. Was on the Tim Beckley show about 5 times over the years.
Yes.
And on his show once.
He's an interesting guy, Gene is. Okay. We'll talk about him.
Yes, he is.
Mac
It goes way back to the old days. He gave me a link to Caveat Emptor, which was the publication he did back in the through the 70s, part of the 70s. Huh. And it's absolutely fantastic. There's articles in there by John Keel, Gray Barker. I mean, you get the retro UFO scene back in those days.
Yep.
It was kind of after Saucer News folded.
Yeah.
And so I'm only into the 3rd issue, but it's just fascinating stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. So speaking of fascinating stuff, so you have a report tonight on the Dogman, right? One of our favorites.
Yes, the infamous Beast of Bray Road. This was uncovered by Linda Godfrey back in the early 90s. Linda Godfrey was working for a small newspaper called The Week in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. And she was doing cartoons and doing a little column. And then they started hearing about these reports along Bray Road, which is just east of Elkhorn. It's about 4 miles long, farm country, 2-lane. People started talking about these upright canids. They would see this thing by the side of the road, think it's a big mangy dog, and then the thing would stand up on its hind legs. And so these reports started accumulating. She went to the local sheriff there, and he actually had a file called Werewolf because he had been getting so many of these crazy reports. But to get that's just kind of the introduction. As time went on, she's written several books, covered about a lot of cryptids, but has continued to follow this Dogman, for lack of a better term. And in one of her subsequent books called Monsters Among Us, there was a man, a farmer, who has a farm right adjacent to Bray Road and produces hay there. He was under a pseudonym at that time, but since then we know who he is. The man's name is Lee Hampel. He was in the Bray Road Beast documentary by Small Town Monsters. And recently I met the Bucks County Paranormal team out of Pennsylvania. They did an investigation on his property. They caught these weird howls and everything, strange mists, and they even saw eye shine about 6 feet off the ground, which could be a little unnerving, I suppose. But I got to meet Lee Hampel. At the Beast of Bray Road conference, I was able to speak there. And a group of us went over afterwards, and it was billed as a hayride, and we were going to see some photographs. Well, the hayride just took you around his property to see, kind of get the scope of it. That was pretty minor. But we sat there for 2 hours looking at the kinds of photographs he's captured in this area on trap cameras. First off, he was a teacher. He was a mathematician in the Illinois school system for 45 years, a scientist. This wasn't really in his bailiwick, so to speak. When he first started farming there, he bought the farm back in about 2007, started seeing weird things, experiencing weird things about 2011. Some of the locals there told him, they said things like, there's a werewolf that lives back there in those woods of yours. And he's thinking, what are you, crazy? And then he starts finding footprints, these 5-toed footprints, 5 toes, a pad, and a heel. And all this, they'll start in the middle of nowhere in the snow and then just take off for a long, long distance. He has tried to get, he's gotten these tracks in dirt, in snow and everything. He's taken pictures and sent them to experts, DNR, and all this sort of thing. One woman called him a liar. One guy expert said, well, somebody bought a couple of pogo sticks or stilts and they're just walking around on your property. Others said, well, they're double tracks. 2 animals stepped on the same track. Well, how does that happen for hundreds of yards? He started noticing roadkill would be all of a sudden disappear. He started putting up trap cameras. Wow. And we would find that if we put down like a dead raccoon or whatever, it would disappear, but there's never any record of what took it. He started seeing these strange mists on his property. And a couple times there was a carcass of a deer or whatever there. And since then, he planted other ones. And you can see the timestamp on these photographs. We sat there in his barn for, like I say, 2 hours, seeing one photograph after another. And you'll see the carcass in the dark. And then the timestamp goes along a certain, maybe a half hour or whatever. You'll see a mist show up. And then before long, the carcass is gone. No drag marks, no footprints. This happens over and over again. But not only that, there is some kind of technology he's capturing there. There are things like flying saucers, UFOs, and you can tell how fast they're moving from the timestamp. There was one that looks like a turtle shell that whips, it's in the daytime, whips around a tree in no time. There's things that look like drones. There's things you can't even wrap your head around. There was something. He's even gotten pictures of something, some kind of a creature off in the distance. You can tell with a certain mechanism how tall this thing is. It was 6 feet tall. It looked like it was on all fours at one point, not close enough to make any details, but he has seen this thing himself. He saw it one night by the side of the road. He turned back in to follow it. He said it just zipped across his property. Later on, he found out he was missing an hour of time. So you're getting, and this I can barely give you. It's phenomenal. They're going to have another Beast of Bray Road conference at the end of April. If anybody, it'd be worth it to attend just to get there on. I think it's Friday night. Yep. We're going to go back to Lee Hampel's property, and we're going to see more of these photographs. You can see some of these in the Bucks County Paranormal Investigation on their YouTube video. A few of the photographs, but. One of them, it's daytime, it's in the field. There's something that looks like a black cord or rope suspended in air, and it goes up like 2 humps, and it's just suspended there. Yep. And then he moved the view of the camera over, and there's some kind of a mechanical boxy device there that I don't know if it's on the ground or floating. Okay. But something, here's the thing, Mac. We've talked a lot about cryptids before. These things act like wild animals. They eat roadkill. They eat bait. But there's some technology or something that hides them, that cloaks them somehow. There's no way that an animal could elude these trap cameras as much as they have. Right. A couple times he's gotten, which looks like a shadow, a silhouette of part of a shoulder and arm standing just off, to the one side of the picture. I encourage you to get the Bray Road Beast DVD video of Small Town Monsters. Look at the Bucks County investigation, just so you can see a few of these photographs that are there. And I just can't do justice to them. Yes. But there's something, it's one of these areas we've talked about a million times where all this stuff happens, but to try and put it together to make sense of it is almost impossible. It's like something from somewhere else is spilling into our existence or something for our it's almost like it's one of those liminal areas where the air is thin, so to speak, where what is this sort of and where do these things come from? Do they come from the same place, or is it a grand central station where all these things intersect and they have their own agenda? They maybe are aware of each other, maybe not. But what do these, these dogmen almost act like sentries? They, the Bucks County guys, they were out there for a while, and they started freaking out. The one guy, Dominic Setel, is a sensitive, and I asked him on my show, I said, what were you picking up out there? What were you feeling? And he said, I felt like I was in a shark tank underwater, and I was holding the bait. He was really freaking out. It was funny because the next week they went out to the Pine Barrens, and they went out with a couple of Bigfooters that have been looking for Bigfoot out there.
Yes.
And he said he was almost relaxed. I mean, they're out there in the middle of nowhere in the Pine Barrens where the Jersey Devil and Bigfoot's supposed to live, but it was almost like a vacation compared to what he was experiencing on Bray Road.
So maybe they're from an existence where they eat roadkill and bait. Maybe that's like steak and...
It could be, but how is it that they elude the cameras for the most part? Once in a while, you seem to get part of something, but there definitely seems to be, and there was the missing time situation. Yep. There is all kinds. I mean, he's been taking photographs for the past 10 years,
yes,
and compiling this, and it's when I try to put it together. Remember, of course, we talked about the Skinwalker Ranch. Yes. Terry Sherman was the owner before Bigelow bought it, and Bigelow bought it from him. He stayed as caretaker, and they set up the National Institute for Discovery Science. Well, there's one story. Now, he's not clear as to whether it was a dream or whether it really happened, but he has this memory of being on something like a ship. He's looking out the window. He can see space. There's two men there in uniforms. Mm-hmm. And the message he got was something like, it will do us no good to tell you what we're doing because you wouldn't understand it.
Wow.
Remember Jacques Villa coined the term metalogic, where the entities, the beings, whatever, they may be going about their business doing something that's perfectly sane and logical to them, but it's so far beyond us.
Right.
And the example I would give there, has everybody seen the film, The Mothman Prophecies?
Good film.
There's a great scene in there, the dialogue between Dr. Leak and John Klein. And Dr. Leak says to John Klein, who's trying to make sense of all this, what's going on in Point Pleasant in the film, he said, "You're more advanced than a cockroach. Mm-hmm. Have you ever tried to explain yourself to him?" So perhaps that's what we're dealing with here, because this is the most frustrating thing for me. This is real. Lee Hampel will tell you, you don't have to. John Keel at the end of the Mothman Prophecies said, it's outmoded to say, are these things real? We have to start asking, why are there these things?
Mm-hmm. I agree. 100%. I mean, it's not just, we talk about it on the show a lot, the unified field theory of the paranormal. Is this stuff all related? It seems like every time we talk about something like this, it seems like, that makes a little bit more sense now, because why do these things, Dogmen and Bigfoot, show up under the same kind of, let's say, circumstances, or at the same time, same era as UFOs and stuff, and ghosts, and what happened?
It's weird. Stan Gordon talked about in the early 70s, there were Bigfoot sightings along with lights in the sky and UFOs. It's like you have that, perhaps technology, maybe not, maybe it's a projection, I don't know, but it's along with the cryptid part of it is part of it. The same thing with this property near Bray Road. You've got some kind of technology, something flying around there, doing something, but you also have, then here you don't have Bigfoot, although I'm sure there's Bigfoot sightings in the general area.
Yes.
The predominant creature, if you will, is the Dogman.
That's nuts, man. But, you can kind of see it. That's his turf or whatever,
There's one other scene that's kind of haunting in the Mothman Prophecies film, and it goes further toward the end, where the climax is building up, and the Silver Bridge is going to collapse. The character of John Klein, played by Richard Gere, it knows that he believes that there's going to be some tragedy on the Ohio River. He doesn't know what it is, and he goes back to Dr. Leak. Dr. Leak, Alan Bates, plays this great part where he had been through all this years before and tried to understand it, tried to stop it, but it destroyed his life.
Yes.
And there's this great scene where Richard Gere, as John Klein, says to Alan Bates as Dr. Leak, "Didn't you need to know?" And Bates plays it so well. He pauses, he cocks his head a little bit, and he says, "We're not allowed to know." Well, why is it that there's this burning desire in us to try to understand these things, even though, it's trying to make the unknown known, and it's very difficult sometimes.
Now, what a ghost? Where do we go after we die? Listen, but I have another burning question, okay? Ready? I'm going to throw this to Raven and Lois, okay? You can just say yes and no, thumbs up, thumbs down. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Richard Gere, yes or no, Lois?
I don't know what the question is.
Is he a movie star to you?
Well, there was a time when he was. Okay. He was something. Mm-hmm.
Do you like him as being someone who's in the opposite sex? Let me put it that way.
I don't know. I never really thought about it.
All right. Raven, now that you've had a long time to think about it, what do you say?
Does she even know who?
Hard pass.
Do you even know who he is? Would she even know?
Yeah, we had an English teacher in high school, and Richard Gere was her cousin.
You kid, really?
Random.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a good movie.
Mac, can I add something about Richard Gere?
Yes, please.
I was just thinking he had a history with animals. I don't know if you knew.
All right. Okay. Hang on. All right. This is going to cost me enough to edit it. Okay.
Yes, sir. He did.
Let me tell you something. That's a rumor. Okay. I will tell you this.
Mac,
fake news.
It's not a rumor.
Mac, I knew a sergeant who said he was there.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's have him on.
I know. That's all I could say. I don't know. I think he's in jail, actually.
He's been in some. This is not a rumor. He's been in some terrible movies. He's been in some hit movies. Officer and the Gentleman is probably his biggest hit. Okay.
American Gigolo.
Well, I have to say that while the Mothman Prophecies wasn't a hit movie,
right?
He was really, really good in that.
He's good in it. Yeah, he plays a Pretty Woman. He was also in Pretty Woman, but he's been in movies.
I don't think he's a bad actor. I just he's an unappealing man.
Yes,
to me.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I'll be my man.
In the case of Lois, in the case of yourself, I know the men in your lives, so it's understandable why you would pitch that way.
I don't know if that's
Wow. What does that mean?
What's that mean? I don't know whether to.
I feel like he's saying we have a type.
We have a type. Okay.
Thank you.
And Richard,
can you expand on that, please, Coco?
Was that a smiley face?
I think Mac, if you were to stack Mac up against Richard Gere, Mac's going to walk away 9 out of 10 times. He's going to get the attention.
Wow. Okay, Coco. Are you married? All right, let's go.
Okay.
Well, I'm up here with a bunch of people missing their tool bag, so I'll let you just figure out where I fall.
If that's the vibe. Okay. All right. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Well, Switchy.
Well, I've got a little more.
Okay. Hang on.
Okay.
That's what she said.
There's a when we were all parked there, one of the ladies, all of a sudden her flashers would intermittently go off every once in a while.
Okay.
Somebody came in the barn and said, "Hey, somebody's flashers are going off on the car." He says, Hampel said, "Oh, that happens all the time." So there's some kind of weird electric interference. Yep. Last thing is this. Lee told us that, he's had people come out there, stay overnight. And one group, now he sleeps there. He doesn't live there, but there's a place he can sleep in the barn when he's working there. One group came in and said, it's 10:30, right? They said, we were told to leave. And Hampel said, "What do you mean? I own the property. You can stay as long as you want." They said, "No, we were told to leave," and they got the hell out of there.
Whoa.
Later on, I found out that they had some kind of a ghost box or whatever, and the voice on there told them
that would
leave.
do it. Yeah, that would do it for me. Wow. Hey, listen, we should go down and do the show down there from the guy's barn.
Definitely.
Wouldn't that be freaking crazy?
Where is this? Wisconsin or something? Where is
it's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's east of Elkhorn. They also the Bucks County people a mist started evolving while they were there. Now it might have been an atmospheric condition, but I talked to some other people that spent a night vigil out there. They wanted to spend all night. They said all of a sudden this fog, this mist rolled in incredibly. It was really thick to the point where they were concerned about their electrical equipment.
All right,
so there's something. These mists do show up, and there's a picture of Lee Hampel in the daytime, and your camera catches him because he moves by it, and there's a mist starting to form around him, and he doesn't see it. Last thing, he sent us some pictures recently that were taken with infrared, And when you look through it, it's on his property. It looks like there was a fire, there's smoke, and everything's glowing.
Wow.
But there was nothing there to the naked eye.
Listen, let me ask you this. Let me just throw this out before we have to wrap up the show. Okay, TFLE. You know, do you ever watch, Superman, the Superman story, right? You know when they put people in the Phantom Zone? Right?
Yes.
Now, listen now. How about this, okay? You're so quick to laugh there, Switchboard.
I was thinking of something else.
Okay, I'm sure
Go
you
ahead.
were. All right. So look how about if these people had just been, like ostracized, kicked out as some kind, they're never up to any good. They're eating roadkill. They're running around like dogs and stuff. Maybe they're just outcasts and they're thrown into this dimension as some kind of a punishment or something.
It's I don't know what the answer is, but there is some weird interface with something that appears to be technology and something that appears to be just a mindless,
it's a phenomenon.
Animal.
Yeah.
A savage animal.
Yeah.
And it shows up in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah.
And in the Michigan band, Dogman is a very interesting character that shows up. Native American history has a lot of
stuff
connection to it as well.
Yeah. They're connected with
Switch,
mounds, too.
these things happening now still? Is it?
Yes.
Current
Yes,
situations?
absolutely.
Really?
He keeps getting photographs of whatever this is going on the property. It is still happening, and it's not just there.
Yeah.
Other friends of his were telling him about seeing this thing crossing the road. It's a little bit like, how you hear the Bigfoot report where they're driving along and the thing crosses the road in front of them, almost like it's staged, almost like, a writer named Zilly Edgar asked if a Bigfoot howls in the wood and there's nobody there, is it really there? It seems like her point was that it may be that somebody has to be present for this to manifest or to experience the creature or the UFO or whatever.
See, that's not too crazy because let's go.
No, it isn't.
Let's go back to the
very Keelian
to the slit screen experiment. Okay, this is in Mack Maloney's Haunted Universe.
It's a perfect example.
Okay, so they discovered years ago, physicists, these eggheads discovered that. Now let's try to do this slow. They have a device that can shoot light in the form of protons, which make up most of the light, that we see. Okay, so they build a box. They put this thing in one end of it. And then on the far side, the other end of the box, they put this, basically think of photographic paper. So when light hits it, it's going to leave a dot, all right? So then what they did was, and who knows why they thought of this, but halfway in between, they put this barrier that has like 4 slits in it. And they're shaped like, let's say, canoes. Okay, they're kind of semi-discs, all right? So the physicists, what they do is they turn on the proton camera, I think they call it. Photon. It shoots these things through. It goes through these slits, and then the dots appear on the photographic paper at the other end of the box. Okay. When they do that, they see, I'm going to get this wrong, but they see, so the physicists do this, the cover of the box is open, a bunch of people are around looking at this. And they see on the photographic paper something that looks like a canoe, let's say. All right, so all the pieces of light went through there and they just align themselves perfectly on the photographic paper. However, if you close the box and people don't look at it, when they open the box, they look like waves. How's that, Coco?
It's a near perfect rendition of the experiment.
So going back to what you said, right? Maybe, so it seems like physics itself can change if people are actually looking. Okay, yes. Which makes no sense.
But Mac, let me add this to you. Right now, where you're sitting,
2 minutes,
radio waves are going out. If you do not have a receiver, those radio waves are not converted into sound that you can hear.
Okay.
Well, maybe we are the receivers that enter into these fields that cause it to manifest. That you have to be, that you're that part of the connection. I think that's what you are driving at.
And certain ones of us are more tuned in than others.
Absolutely.
And that's why some have
you have the right reception.
And others
that's
like
correct.
we don't.
So here's another thing. Here's another, example. We should do this some night. put two people at a bar that has Keno, okay? All right? And you have them fill out their things, 10 games, whatever. One of them watches the numbers come up. One of them don't watch it, okay? I'll bet you the ones who don't watch it win more for kind of like the same reason. You know what I mean? If you watch something, it has an effect on it. It has an effect. And if you don't, sometimes, you just in a little bit of, gambling I've done, if you kind of forget
have you ever
about
tried that, Mac?
No, but I'd like to try that. We should try it live on the show. I just know if you kind of forget about it, if you're not, looking at the football game every second and everything, sometimes you get surprised, right, Lois?
Absolutely. That happens all the time.
She's been there. So anyway, wow, what a way to bring the train into the station. Switchy, you got your visual there, your image?
Yeah, I'm getting with my people here.
Well, Mac, you can take a look at the background on mine as I say goodnight to you. That's a recent picture of one of the scientific helicopter experiments I've been working on. I don't want to say too much on air.
Wow. Is that gender neutral?
Highly classified.
Okay.
Acme Corporation.
Acme Corporation supplied the.
I thought it was a real thing.
Beep, beep, Acme beep, Defense Funding.
He's the only guy in the world who likes the coyote. I don't get it. All right.
I love the coyote. Willy Coyote.
Everybody loves it. I love it
because he never wins.
Yeah, you got to feel bad for him.
Well, that's right. Yeah, he never wins ever.
Wiley Coyote is on my airplane, and he's choking.
I wouldn't fly.
He's really resourceful and tries his damnedest.
But he always loses. Is it, you want the airplane mechanic saying, "Well, he always tried," and but. I'm saying because
we're not talking about airplanes.
We'll cut that out. No, I said because he has it on the side of his plane. So,
listen, the coyote's not too bright, but he never stops trying.
It beg to differ with you. Wiley Coyote got the business card. Genius. Have brain, will travel.
Well, that's true. It does say that.
Well, he's got business cards. We got business cards. All right. So listen, why don't we bring the ship into the station real quick? I'm going to throw it to Lois, and she's going to tell everyone how they can get their bag of swag, which is gone off the charts. I think people were getting it for Christmas presents, and we've shipped a lot of stuff over to England, and I think you guys know what that means, money-wise.
Absolutely. So if people are interested in a bag of swag, or actually an envelope filled with swag, you just go to MackMaloney.com, click on the Contact Us button, give us your real email, your real address, not an email address, so we can actually ship you some pins and 3D decals and fancy coasters and lots of fun surprises.
Yes.
So just contact us at MackMaloney.com.
We get letters, people asking for it, but then a lot of times people write back when they get it. And people like everything in it, but we had to order, like, for the fifth time, bar coasters, and yeah, they're nice.
We like those.
They're very nice, yeah.
We like those.
People really want them, and I guess they're, like putting them in bars and stuff like that, surreptitiously.
I was going to drag out my Sharpie and autograph a few bar coasters for some of my friends.
Oh, wow, okay.
Is that being too weird?
No.
No.
I'm
going to do it.
That way they won't
add some
At an
value.
establishment where I dropped the bar coasters, we had a test of who could fling it across the establishment the furthest. It was sort of like Mack Maloney horseshoes. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
There's a flying saucer on it.
All right, let me tell you this. Why don't we just say good night to everybody on that note, okay? All right?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to do the beauties first, okay?
Ooh, you get to go first,
Switch it up a little bit, okay?
Finally.
Yeah, why do we always have to go last?
Meow. Okay.
Poor Raven. Poor Raven.
So much for the best for last. All right, here we go. Yeah. Raven, thank you very much for joining us in Sideways New York.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
You're drinking tea. Maybe next time it'll be a little stronger than Lemon Bomb. Can we look forward to that?
It better be.
Okay, there you go. Wow, okay. Lois.
Yes, thank you, everybody. It was a great night. Lots of laughs.
Will you have a drink next time you come back?
Who said I didn't tonight?
Whoa. Well, I must have. Wow. That's off the radar, baby. How'd that happen? Thank you, Lois.
Mac, I want to be there for that, too, okay?
Okay.
Is the third, is 3 a crowd with you guys or not?
Are there 3 microphones?
He just wants to watch. Don't worry about it.
All right, come on. I got to
okay.
cut this up as
Unbelievable.
As it is. Okay. Thank you, girls, if I can say that. Willy Clubb, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mac.
And for the
It's
Clubb
been
Report.
fun. Thank you for having me.
When we going down the casino? Soon?
Hey, whenever. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got to do that. Let's talk about a field trip. Jocko, Jojo, how you doing?
Good.
Okay?
Good.
Did you enjoy yourself tonight?
Absolutely.
That's what
I'm
counts.
so happy we had that breaking news here.
Yes. What was that anyway?
Joe Judge got fired.
That's right. We went down
What a
that
jerk.
road.
Joe
Right.
Judge is the jerk.
Good.
Yep.
You'll come back to the Pats and you'll never hear from him again, ever.
Take him. You can have him.
Okay. Switchy. Thank you, Switchy.
My pleasure.
Okay. I'd like to say I like your shirt there, but what's it say again? Because I'm Steve? That's why. Okay. I see a lot of anger in that, a lot of hidden, repressed anger in that.
Well, they can. They don't like it. They keep their distance.
That's it. I was going to say it's a lot of who gives a what.
Wow, man. Okay. You still look like Hemingway. Okay. All right, so you can
I
go to
thought
bed.
it was Richard Dreyfuss.
You go to bed happy.
I think the Richard Dreyfuss is excellent.
His beard has grown in the past 2 hours. Okay. Thank you,
As long as
Switch.
you don't call it, just don't call me the old man on the sea.
Dude, don't worry. Don't worry about that. Coco, thank you.
You're welcome. There's
Okay.
the fin flash off the rudder from the airplane.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
It's
it's
cool.
the
It's
coyote
really
catches them eventually. Is that the angle? It's like hope. You're hoping forever.
Have brain will travel. That's all I need to say.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. And can I tell you something? Popeye wasn't in the Coast Guard either, there, wise guy. We're going to have a...
sailor. He was a sailor.
Yeah.
He was in the Coast Guard.
We're going to have...
establish this fact to you.
I got a spokesman.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
Right. It's not Popeye the Coast Guard guy, but we got to go.
I try to explain to
On
you.
that note,
Coast Guardsman is a sailor. It's Popeye the Sailor Man. He was a Coast Guardsman before he was in. When the Coast Guard was in the Navy is when you see him wearing his white. We've had this
okay. Here we
discussion.
go. Now you're changing the story. So he wasn't in there.
I have provided the information to you a number of times. If you want to continue on ignorance, that's fine. Trouble in it. It's probably good for ratings.
It's like 6 against 1 here. All right, we'll do that soon. Okay, bring your research. Okay, and we'll bring ours.
Aye.
Oh, how dare you? Okay, so listen. Holmes Rod Troops, please. Google Holmes Rod Troops. They're a military organization that helps out our veterans from post 9/11, the Iraqi War, Afghan War, folks who came home, maybe missing a limb or whatever, lost, fighting for us. So what Holmes Rod Troops does is they build them a house, they give them the keys, they tear up the mortgage, they give them the house, okay? And studies show that, once these people get into housing, they don't have to worry about that. 85% success rate going out and getting jobs and stuff like that. They deserve it. Our government should be working more to help them, but until that happens, Holmes Rod Troops, okay? And they've already built, what did we say the other day, like 350 houses or something nuts?
Something like that. Amazing number of
getting
homes.
pretty close to tripping to 400.
Man, that's crazy, okay? And it's just a great charity, Holmes Rod Troops, okay? So, real quickly, Ross Sharp and his Madigan's friends are rebuilding a mosquito warplane from World War II. It was made of wood, 2 Rolls-Royce engines on it, and it was so fast for a couple of years in the war.
It could outrun the bullets.
That's
why it didn't need any armaments on it.
Right. That's how fast it was. So, the People's Mosquito Project, please look them up. And until next week, thank you, gang. We got the Beatles back together again, and we recorded Abbey Road, right?
We did.
Okay, good.
And played it on the rooftops.
Right. So now the infighting can begin again, okay, as it turns out. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for everyone who listening in. And until next time, this is Mac, the entire gang saying be safe, be happy, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, I stepped on it there, Wani. Let me do it again.
It's all right.
Okay, no, let's do it again.
Take
Okay.
two.
All right, take 2. All right. So this is Mack Maloney for the entire gang saying until the next time you hear us, be safe, be happy, and...
Bye-bye.